rather than focusing so much on the photography side of things, I would like to focus more on the customer side of things, right? So like being a professor, I give like a lot of analogies. So pardon me if I have an analogy for this. Like if you're a coffee connoisseur and you're like a great coffee maker, all of your friends appreciate your coffee, and then you decided one day to set up a coffee shop, right? And when you set up a coffee shop, you should look at people who are coming to your coffee shop. Not necessarily everybody is going to like your coffee. Everyone is not going to appreciate the coffee that you make. Most people, they need to put some caffeine in their system early in the morning. Okay? They are just going through the drive-thru, get the coffee, go to office, get started. They don't care as much how your coffee is than how easy it is to pass through your drive-thru, how quick it is it giving enough caffeine, does the coffee taste good, right? Mm-hmm. None of this has anything to do with the skill of coffee making.
Welcome to the Spiro Podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. With your hosts, Todd Kivimaki and Craig Magrum.
Welcome to the Spiro Podcast, managing your real estate, photography, and videography business. Spiro is a software platform designed to manage and help you scale and grow your real estate media business. I'm Craig Magrum. I'm the business development and client care specialist for Spiro and host of the podcast. And you know what, Todd? I didn't think of a new introduction for you that wasn't so formal. I got to get on that. But our co-host and owner and founder of Spiro, Todd Kivimaki.
Hello. Thanks, Craig. Yeah, welcome, everybody. Hey, it's good to see you here. Happy holidays. It's a fun time of the year, and it's a good time to be thinking about the business of your business. So we've got an exciting owner spotlight today. But for those of you that are joining us, for your first time, welcome into the podcast. Thank you for coming in and give us an opportunity to just have a little bit of your time during this busy time of the year. And for those of you that are coming back, thank you for coming back. Hopefully you can find some nuggets in the podcast today, some ways that you can think about your business. And, if it just gives you a thought, then we're happy. If you guys could subscribe to us, that would help us. Just hit the subscribe button. And that will also let you know of new podcasts as we launch these so that you can be the first to listen. It's like Christmas morning when these things launch. It's like glitter and smoke and lasers, and they go off, at least at my place. I don't know if it does it for you guys, but maybe that's just an automation that I have in my SmartThings hub. But anyways, Craig, I'm rambling. Back to you.
That's all right. I'm just thinking, great. I got a whole suite of new video effects I need to add to the to the podcast. Anyway, it is going to be a great podcast. As Todd said, we're doing another edition of the Owner Spotlight series, and we've done a couple of episodes on PMRE. It was a conference that we went to in Las Vegas back at the beginning of November. And we met so many great people there. And Brandon Cooper, the organizer of the conference, said the biggest thing that people enjoy about PMRE is really the networking opportunities. And we understand that now because we experienced that. So we had the opportunity as one of the sponsors there to share about the Spiro Software platform. Met a lot of people that stopped by our booth and, what's Spiro? They wanted to find out a little bit more. And one of those individuals that stopped by and scanned our QR code that we met, that we want to introduce you to is his name is Sathish Samiappan. Did I nail it, Sathish?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. And he is the owner of Dawg Interactive in Starkville, Mississippi. Sathish, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome, Sathish. Hey, great to have you on here. Let's just start off. Sathish, can you tell us a little bit about yourself so our listeners know just a little bit about you?
Okay. Yeah. So if you cannot tell already, I'm from South India. I was born and grew up in South India. I moved to the United States back in 2009 for my graduate school here at Mississippi State University. So in 2014, I graduated with my PhD in electrical and computer engineering. And then I was working here as a postdoc for a while, and then I become a research faculty. So that's what I do. So for my work, like my daytime work, my research focuses on drone remote sensing. machine learning and computer vision and things like that. So that's the work that I do for the university. And my family, like myself, my wife, Banu, and I have a daughter, 5-year-old, Ahana. And we live here in exciting Stark Vegas. We call it. It's Starkville, Mississippi. We call it Stark Vegas.
That's awesome.
It's a very nice college town. Very exciting place to be in.
So I have to jump in here. Having lived in Starkville, known as Stark Vegas, you said?
Yeah.
And now actually going to Las Vegas. Do you think that's a fair comparison?
No. People who never went to Las Vegas know that it's not a fair comparison, but we do it anyways.
That's fun. I love
That's
it.
fun. Yeah. Well, very cool. Well, what a background and career you have, Sathish, in that kind of electronics and technology, remote sensing from drones. That's awesome. So I have to ask the question, being in that kind of technological field, how in the world do you get interested in real estate photography?
Yeah. So like right from a very young age, I knew that I'm going to be doing something related to imaging science or technology. So I always keep an eye out for new technology that comes up. So I've been following Emily Ullman for a long time on YouTube. So she's been posting things about all the cool VR stuff, 360. And so I had that in my mind. And during pandemic, we thought about purchasing an investment property in Starkville. So we were talking to this realtor at a coffee shop. I was like really curious because I was watching some of Emily's videos, and I asked this realtor, like, why don't you do virtual tours? Why are you taking us to like every property, like physically going there and seeing? And she goes like, nobody does that here. Are you interested? Do you want to do it for me? And I was like, I'm not sure if that's something that I should do. And then I made up my mind that, okay, I love this technology. And I understand what's going behind it. Why don't I bring that to this small college town in Mississippi? Then I told her like, yeah, let's do it. So that's how it started. So I purchased a Rico Theta SC2. So there is this virtual tour company called Rico Tours. So it feels like many years ago. This is just back in early 2021. 2021. So, and I started doing that for her. We did like 4 or 5 properties. Her name is Stephanie Arnett. She sells some really nice high-end properties. So we did that and it was really good. But then I approached several other realtors in town with Rico Tours. None of them were interested in because as you know, the professional photography for real estate didn't start catching up until 2014 or 15, like really like nationwide. Here in Mississippi, it's not really widely used. So I realized at one point that if I'm going to be doing like real estate, virtual tours and stuff, I got to offer still photographs, like a HDR and floor plan and things like that. So and then I started working on that last year, and I started offering still photography late in the fall, like towards the end of the home buying season. That's how it goes.
What a cool story, Sathish. So you created your company, Dawg Interactive. And what year was that again?
So 2021, June. That's when I started doing the Rico tours.
Awesome. And how did you pick the name Dawg Interactive?
Oh, it's a funny story. So like I said, I've been following Emily for a long time. So her company name is Hopscotch Interactive. So the term interactive comes from the fact that we are creating 3D, this virtual world, right? People interact with those images. They are not just seeing the images. They kind of touch and move the screen and stuff like that. And so I thought I got to have the term interactive in the name, right? So I picked interactive instantly. So this is a college town. Our university mascot is a bully or a bulldog, right? So it's not like DOG, it's DAWG. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So I did like, okay, let's do like Dawg Interactive, right? Because it's kind of connected to local. People really understand it. But then that's when I realized that no, Dawg Interactive sounds like a pet daycare. people are not going people are not going to think that we are like a real estate media company. But then during COVID, I was talking to my wife once. I was telling her that, do you know that these days people meet other people in the form of pixels on a computer screen, not like flesh and blood.
Oh,
You
that's
meet
cool.
more people. Yeah, you meet more people as pixels than flesh and blood, right? So that's the direction we are going with real estate marketing. Um, People are looking at properties as virtual tours and floor plans and pictures, not as much in physical, like brick and
mortar.
Mm-hmm. So then I thought, why don't we add pixel and just have it like Pixel Dawg? It's kind of catchy. I liked it, and more importantly, my wife liked it. So
God bless our wives.
It's always important. Yes.
Yeah. That's what a great observation. That especially during COVID, we were meeting more people virtually. Yeah, in pixels versus face to face. That's ingenious.
It's a neat story.
Very cool.
It is.
Yeah. So you mentioned you just started the business in 2021, right? 2021, and now this is obviously it's something you're doing part time because you mentioned your day jobs. You're working in education, higher education. That's taking up all your time. So this right now, I'm assuming you don't have anyone else on staff. You're the principal photographer.
Yes.
And doing everything by yourself.
Yes.
So about how many listings a year are you able to do doing this part-time and growing this business?
So just in 2022, I shot just over 100 properties.
Okay.
And like, keep in mind that I shoot only in the evenings, like 5:30 to whenever the sun sets, and then Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay.
Wow.
You stay busy.
Yeah.
You stay busy. That's awesome. So I know we were talking offline that you've got a goal in 2023. I believe it was to expand to 300 shoots.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great goal to go for. So let me ask you this: whenever we do a owner spotlight series, we love highlighting businesses at all stages. You're early in the launch of your business, but to date, what have you found to be really kind of the best piece of business advice that you've learned from somebody else, or just something that you've read that you've implemented in your business to help you really start to grow this?
Okay. So this is what I followed. I always had in my mind when I started this business, and like over the past 1.5 years, it may sound like really cliche if I mention this. So rather than focusing so much on the photography side of things, I would like to focus more on the customer side of things, right? So like, being a professor, I give like a lot of analogies. So pardon me if I have an analogy for this. Like, if you're a coffee connoisseur and you're like a great coffee maker, all of your friends appreciate your coffee, and then you decided one day to set up a coffee shop, right? And when you set up a coffee shop, you should look at people who are coming to your coffee shop. Not necessarily everybody is going to like your coffee. Everyone is not going to appreciate the coffee that you make. Most people, they need to put some caffeine in their system early in the morning. Okay? They are just going through the drive-thru, get the coffee, go to office, get started. They don't care as much how your coffee is than how easy it is to pass through your drive-thru, how quick it is it giving enough caffeine, does the coffee taste good, right? Mm-hmm. None of this has anything to do with the skill of coffee making. So I observed that a lot of photographers fall into this, like, I need to keep improving my photography. Of course, you need to, till the last breath, you need to keep improving your photography. Mm-hmm. But then on the other side, most importantly, how happy your customers are. Or you keep on checking with them, like how they're doing. Like, for example, like a couple of months ago, I contacted one of the realtors and I asked, like, is the process of uploading the pictures to MLS is easy? And then she replied saying that our MLS only allows 12 megabytes, but most of the pictures that you deliver are like 16 megabytes. And then I told her, like, hey, like, if you're paying for a professional photography, you should not spend a lot of time on resizing the pictures. So from now on, I'll make sure that I'll deliver all the pictures at 12 megabytes or less. And then all that you need to do is just download, upload to MLS, and then just go about, save some time for them. So these are little things on the customer side that's more important that I think helped me shoot over 100 properties this year. That's more important.
Yeah, that's such a great, kind of, it sounds like a core value of yours. It's a core value of us at WOW too. Clients are our number one priority, and we've really grown like that. And we're not in our home base is not in a large, metropolitan area either. And I'm sure you're finding that that the agents that you work with are really connected. And are you finding that they refer you, or are you finding that you're getting referrals and people to mention your name from giving this good customer service?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I've got a lot of new clients through referrals. I would say like most of them are through referrals.
Awesome.
The brokerages that I went and directly marketed, I would say less successful than referrals.
Mm-hmm. Is that your strategy for growth from 100 to 300 for next year, Sathish?
So the strategy for growth is just keeping the good work and do marketing during off season, and then completely focus on the business during the season that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. And that works. Todd, my story with C Imaging, it was the same thing. I started small, and most of my growth was word of mouth as well. And Sathish, like you, taking care of my clients, being on time, good communication, answering questions, in a timely manner, being flexible, representing them on the shoot, on the appointment, really positioning myself as part of their team, and selling them to the homeowner, and talking about, hey, you made a great choice in choosing this realtor. They love that because you're helping promote them and build their business, and in turn, they're going to help you build your business. So yeah, having that as one of your core values, it will build your business.
So one of the reasons I cannot come and talk to you is because I learned about Spiro like 4 months ago, like before PMRE. I never thought I'm going to meet you guys at the conference. So one of the reasons I was like interested in Spiro is because one of the pain points for me is scheduling, because I usually do scheduling via text messages and emails, and I don't get all the information from them. Sometimes I go there and I'm like surprised, things like that. So I'm exploring using some kind of a software platform like Spiro to streamline that experience, both for them and for me. If I'm bringing in another photographer, it should be already like well integrated. So that's thanks to PMRE.
Yeah, I'm so glad we met, and thanks for making that point, Sathish. That's truly, if I look back over the almost 20 years that we've developed software. So we just launched Spiro, within the last several months. However, we've created Spiro for 20 years. So that was always my goal, was to not only give good customer service, but I wanted to grow, and I wanted to shoot thousands of listings a year. And you can't shoot thousands of listings a year and still give really good customer service without systems and processes and technology that will automate and help streamline and make it simple. So that was always our goal with the software, was to allow you to continue to give good customer service. And then scaling from 100 to 300, 300 to 3,000, 3,000 to 12,000 to 100,000, wherever it stops, you're doing about the same thing. It's just, of course, a different client. The walls are in different places, different furniture. Sometimes there's a dog, sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's kids crazy running around. We all know that the differences, but it's all pretty much the same. And if you can begin to compartmentalize that, our goal is to allow you to scale to 300 and go, oh, that was really easy. That was cool. I didn't really have to even think about, X, Y, and Z that I used to have to put a lot of work into. So thank you for making that point. As far as interactive, just to pivot here real quick, because we had Emily on a couple podcasts ago, and I loved picking her brain and knowing what's going on in her brain. So Sathish, what's going on in your brain? What interactive, is there anything like what's in your back pocket? Anything cool you're working on or any new technology that you're interested in?
So right now I'm learning to, shouldn't say learning to shoot Flambient. I started shooting Flambient. We met two different schools of thought when we went to PMRE. You need to shoot HDR. You need to shoot Flambient. It's not somewhere in between. So I'm working on my Flambient. I shot my first Flambient last week, and it turned out good, and the client is happy. So
Awesome.
I'll be using Flambient and HDR in tandem, depending on the property. So that's the thing that I want to build. Hopefully by end of 2023, I want to do all of my shoots Flambient. So that's something that I'm working on. And I'm working on my Part 107 to start offering drone pictures and videos. That's going to happen sometime in spring. These are the two things that I'm really excited for next year.
Well, the drone especially makes sense with you working in drone sensing technology. I mean, yeah, just a beautiful marriage of your interests there.
Yes.
So you mentioned at PMRE, you heard about Flambient and the debate between that and HDR. What we came away with quite a few things that we really liked that we picked up at PMRE. But for you, from that conference, for your business, what was the biggest piece of education that you took away that you think is going to have a impact on your business for 2023?
So the biggest takeaway from PMRE is I get to meet I made a lot of friends that I can kind of text them on Instagram and ask them some help and things like that. And most importantly, PMRE gave me a direction on where I should be focusing, where I should go. Moving forward. That's something that I did not have, to be honest, before PMRE. Awesome. So the urge to get the Part 107 and start offering drone or be it mastering Flambient is some of the things that I realized that I had to do. That's mainly because of PMRE and meeting all these people, right? So they just come and talk to me. I spoke to Rich over phone a couple of times after the conference. I spoke to Jordan over the phone after the conference. They are super encouraging. That kind of make me feel like I'm not alone. There are people here to help me. There are people who are superstars in this field, and I have their number, and they can call. I can call them. That's a huge deal.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's awesome to see the way people are willing to help each other.
Yes.
Generally, especially when they're in different markets, let's just tip our hat to that. But awesome.
And meeting you guys and Chris from iGuide. I've been watching Chris's webinar forever. The ones that he puts out. So meeting him in person and you guys, it's just
Yeah. Agreed. It was nice to go around and meet the individuals at these companies. And same thing with us at WOW. We've been thinking about iGuide. We're in Matterport right now, but I've been thinking about iGuide. But it was nice to see the system, nice to meet the individuals. Sam from Cubicasa and his team was great. We're great as well. But I agree with you. It was a really nice sense of community that we got there.
So here is the interesting thing that I noticed, in the entire state of Mississippi, I've seen only one or two using Matterport. It really didn't catch on here. Maybe it's going to take a few years, maybe later this next year. It's not that popular. Even the realtor that I'm working with, she's not a fan of Matterport. She loved Rico Tours over Matterport, in fact. So that was really surprising and interesting to me. But like I said, just go with what your customer wants to do.
Yeah. Sathish, are you still offering the Rico tours? Is that what your main platform is right now?
No, I moved to completely iGuide.
Okay.
So I don't do Rico tours anymore.
Awesome. Well, Sathish, it's been a pleasure to have you on the podcast today. Are there anything else you'd like to share? Any parting wisdom or thoughts you'd like to share with our listeners? Like
I said, keep learning, back yourself to succeed. And enjoy the learning process, because if you don't enjoy, there is no point in doing any of this. So that's all. Back yourself to succeed enjoy doing what you do.
Good advice. Good advice. Sathish, if somebody wanted to pick your brain on something related to real estate media, as somebody else that's new to the industry, you just started your business again in 2021, but say somebody else that's just starting their business wanted to connect, how can they get a hold of you?
They can email me, satish@pixeldogms.com, or they can find me on Instagram at pixeldogms.
And again, dog with a D-A-W-G. I was a dog as well. And my alma mater, I was a dog as well. So I get it. We spell it the right way. D-A-W-G.
Yes, Pixel Dog.
We'll put all these links in the show notes and on the screen as well. So Sathish, thank you so much for taking time to talk with Todd and I and our listeners and viewers. Always good to connect with somebody else in the field and encourage each other and sharpen each other. So we appreciate you making the time for us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well, we hope this has been a great time with us today. If you know of others that might appreciate the show, could you do us a favor and let them know about it, or maybe post it on your social media channels? And also, we want this to be your show. What are you looking for out there? We're right upon a new year, so hopefully you're thinking about what you're going to do, much like Sathish is for 2023. What's your vision? Where are you going? If you're like, Todd, what's a vision? What's a mission? What are all these things? Or maybe there's another question you have. Feel free, email us, hello@spiro.media. We would love to gear this towards what you're looking for. Also, as we come to a close of 22 and look to a new year of 23, now is a good time to think about a system. So again, a shameless plug here. This is the Spiro Podcast. We do develop and we have a software platform that can help optimize your team. If you have a team of one, or if you have a team of 21 like we do at WOW, and almost 20 others that work as admins in the system, we can accommodate you. So we've been developing software for 20 years. If you'd love to see the system, you can see it at spiro.media. Book an appointment with Craig or myself. We'd love to do a personal demo with you and show you how we can begin to automate and streamline some of these things so that you can make your goals a reality in 23.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we do want to thank a couple of new subscribers as well. Huge thank you to Daniel L. on YouTube, also Tara Costello and Francisco Lopez. I love the name Francisco. It just rolls off the tongue. Awesome name. So
what's that from? I thought you were doing that. Is that the elf? Is that the elf line, Craig?
Oh, I think it is. I think you're right. Well, hey, it's the right time of year for that. Also, Francisco, you're Craig, right. That is
Craig. You need to wear a onesie next week on the podcast in honor of Elf.
I'm turning red. I can feel my face turning red right now. Anyway, thanks to all of you watching, listening. Again, a huge thank you to Sathish of Dawg Interactive. If you're watching the podcast, don't forget you can always listen to it as well. If you're in between appointments or taking a long drive, you can get the audio podcast on any of the major audio podcast platforms, and also at spiromedia.podbean.com. Or conversely, if you're listening most of the time, but you have some time to watch on a screen, just go to youtube.com.
You're going to want to see Craig in a onesie.
Am I going to get fired if I don't wear that? We have gone completely off the rails, but you got to have some fun, right? It's end of the year. It's Christmas time. We're going to have some fun here. You can watch again on youtube.com/@Spiro Podcast. So with that, just wishing you a great week. Thanks for making time with us. Enjoy the blessings you've been given and take a breath.
Thank you for joining us for the Spiro Podcast, Managing Your Real Estate Photography and Videography Business. This is a production of Spiro and WOW Video Tours. You can find out more about Spiro's real estate media business management software at our website, spiro.media.